There are moments in life when you can feel a quiet shift in the air around you, as if the universe is pulling gently on an invisible thread, and your heart slows for just a beat. It isn't fear, it isn't excitement either. It feels more like stepping out onto your porch in the early morning, lifting your head, and realizing the sky looks just a little different today. The blue is deeper, the breeze is softer, and the sun seems to be whispering something to you, but not quite ready to say the words out loud. Libra, that energy is surrounding you right now. The universe is sending you a signal, subtle but unmistakable, that someone is moving closer, someone about to enter the orbit of your life in a way you could never have predicted. This person carries just enough gentleness to lower your guard, just enough warmth to keep you from fearing them, and a smile soft enough to make you believe they mean no harm. But in life, the truth rarely sits on the surface. It lives behind the eyes, not in the words spoken, but in the vibration of a soul. And it is that vibration, hidden beneath their calm exterior, that makes the universe place a quiet hand on your shoulder. A reminder to slow down, to look a little closer, because not every light in this world is safe to walk toward. Sometimes, the people who approach us the most gently are the ones who carry the biggest questions. Not to frighten us, but to test whether our hearts have learned to recognize the difference between true tenderness and a beautiful mask covering something else. This person arrives with a refinement that makes it easy to soften toward them. They know just how long to listen, how much to share, and when to leave a small silence for you to fill with your own kindness. Libra has always been known for believing in the good within others. You try to understand before you judge. You search for light in people, even when that light is nothing more than the last ember of a dying flame. But this time, something feels different. The universe isn't asking you to close your heart, but it is reminding you that an open heart still needs the foundation of awareness. It's like standing before the ocean at night. You can't see how deep the water goes, yet somehow your body knows to find its balance, to take one careful step at a time. Perhaps you've already felt it, that faint, unfamiliar sensation when speaking with someone you barely know. Not discomfort, but something like a feather landing in your palm from a place you can't quite name, making you wonder where it came from and what message it carries. The universe is asking you not to trust the surface too quickly, not to let your natural kindness become a door that stands open for anyone who wishes to walk through. You don't need to dim your light, Libra. You only need to choose wisely where that light shines. Because sometimes, people don't come into our lives to stay. They come to teach us how to hear the rhythm of our own soul, how to listen to the quiet voice of intuition, and how to protect the most delicate, most sacred parts of our hearts. And if you pause just for a breath, you might notice something beautiful. The universe never sends warnings to frighten you. It sends warnings to strengthen you, to make you clearer, brighter, and wiser in the way you love yourself before you love anyone else. Maybe that is the real gift this person carries, a gift wrapped not in flowers, but in awakening. And Libra, from that awakening inside you, a new doorway begins to open, softly, gently, like the first deep breath you take at dawn. It leads you into a space where everything ahead can be seen with clearer eyes, a steadier heart, and a kinder understanding of who you are becoming. It feels as if you're stepping into a room where the light has been adjusted just right, not too bright, not too dim, just enough for the world around you to finally reveal its true lines and shapes. And in that room, you notice a figure approaching, soft, like the last breeze of late autumn, shimmering, like warm yellow light dancing across a quiet lake. They arrive with a presence that could make anyone pause, a single sentence that touches exactly where your emotions are, a glance that seems to understand the words you haven't said, a small gesture of care that feels strangely familiar, as if echoing something from a life you once lived, or a memory you can almost recall. There's something about them that makes you want to open your heart just a little more, to stay standing there just a little longer. Not because they ask you to, but because they appear at the very moment you're longing for someone who truly listens, someone who feels safe, or at least harmless. But in that tender moment, When your heart gives the slightest tremble, the universe slips a gentle tap into your chest. A message so subtle, only those who are awake inside can hear it. A reminder that the first warmth someone offers is often like the winter sun in the late afternoon. It can be beautiful, it can be comforting, but it isn't always something you can lean on. Some lights appear to draw you in, but they don't always lead you to safety. And some people carry a sweetness that sounds like a promise, yet it isn't the promise your soul truly needs. Their charm isn't the danger. It's the way that charm can make a romantic heart like yours step too quickly into someone else's story, especially when that charm is wrapped in just enough empathy to awaken your desire to connect. You see the light in them, and your kindness makes you want that light to be real. But somewhere deep inside, a quiet part of you notices the thin line between sincerity and a carefully crafted mask, hiding something still waiting to be revealed. Maybe you've lived this before. Someone arrives, your world becomes brighter for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then suddenly you realize you've wandered into a fog without knowing when the mist began to rise. This time, instead of letting your heart walk into that fog again, you're being guided to see more clearly. It's like standing by the ocean at sunset. The golden reflection is breathtaking, so beautiful you want to step forward and touch it, yet the cold wave curling around your ankle reminds you not to confuse beauty with safety. People like this often enter our lives wearing the glow of something faded. But true fate never rushes you. It never blinds you with too much sparkle, and it never makes you feel like you have to guess what lies behind someone's smile. Sometimes that picture-perfect first impression is only a thin veil of mist over the real landscape. And when that mist dissolves, what remains is what you were always meant to see. The universe is not asking you to refuse sweetness. It is simply holding your hand, slowing your steps, so your heart can keep pace with your soul, and your intuition can catch up to what your eyes cannot yet see. It wants you to recognize the difference between a true light and a passing reflection that shines only for a moment. It's in that slowing down, in that quiet, almost unnoticeable pause, that your story begins to open another layer, a layer that lets you see more clearly, not just the person standing before you, but yourself, and the path your heart is walking as it searches for connections worthy of your spirit. And as that curtain lifts, softly but truthfully, you begin to realize this isn't just a simple encounter. It feels more like looking at your reflection in still water. At first, all you notice is the silhouette beside you, but when your eyes settle, when your breath deepens, you begin to see the subtle movements beneath the surface, details you would have missed in the rushing rhythm of everyday life. The universe, in its own mysterious way, is placing you in a moment of rare significance, a moment when every presence has a purpose, every vibration, even the faintest one, carries a message waiting for you to feel it. There are times in life when we aren't tested by storms, but by subtlety. Times when the lesson doesn't arrive as hardship, but as a gentle invitation, asking you to rely on your inner clarity to see what is real and what is only an illusion. Libra, you were born with an instinct for harmony. You dislike conflict. You love tenderness. You believe in the beauty inside every person. But that open heart of yours can sometimes blur the line between someone who comes to offer energy and someone who comes to take it. Not because you are weak, but because you want so deeply to see the good in anyone who walks into your life. Yet this time, the universe whispers a question right into the center of your being. Do you have the courage to see the truth, even when the truth isn't as pretty as the face it wears? This is not coincidence. This is a karmic test, crafted specifically for you, for the rhythm of your heart, for the balance you hold so naturally. It doesn't ask you to sacrifice anything. It doesn't demand that you run from anyone. It simply wants to know, can you recognize your own worth in the presence of someone who might not? When someone steps toward you, can you tell if they value you or only what they can take from you? When they share their stories, do you feel a soul wanting to connect, or a person looking for a temporary place to anchor their loneliness? When you give your energy, your kindness, your genuine heart, do you receive anything that nourishes you, or only an ever-growing emptiness? These are questions no one can answer for you. They are mirrors, the universe places along your path, mirrors that reflect who you are through the choices you make. And when you press your hand against that mirror, you discover something essential. Boundaries are not walls. They are reminders that you deserve to be treated with care, that you deserve connections that bring you peace, not ones that slowly drain the light from your heart. You are being asked to strengthen your discernment, to learn who belongs beside you for the long journey and who is meant to walk only a short distance with you. Not everyone who enters your life brings a gift. Some bring lessons. And you, dear Libra, are now in a moment of clarity, where one deep look is enough to know who is who. The universe is not asking you to doubt everyone. It is asking you to trust the voice within you. A gentle voice, but unmistakably clear. A voice that has always known who comes with genuine connection and who comes to consume your light. A voice you've carried all your life. You simply forgot how to listen. And when you begin to listen again, when the light inside you grows steadier, another part of your story subtly shifts, guiding you closer to the truths waiting just ahead. It's like stepping into a familiar room, only to find it lit by a new kind of light. Suddenly, everything sharpens. The soft edges you once overlooked become defined. Old shadows begin to speak, revealing details you never noticed before. And in that illumination, you start to see signals you had missed. Small signs, but powerful enough to change the way you understand someone. It begins with the faintest feeling, as if someone is sprinkling a thin layer of sugar over your life. Compliments arrive regularly, sweet as honey, sometimes even before they truly know you. They praise your sensitivity, your intelligence, your presence, so quickly that you barely have time to ask yourself, how can they see that deeply when you haven't even opened your heart? That eagerness can stir something tender in you, Libra. You've always admired beauty and goodness in people, but sometimes praise that comes too early isn't understanding. It's a key designed to open a door you've been carefully guarding. And then the rhythm changes. They want closeness, more of your time, more of your space, access to parts of your life reserved for those who truly matter. They want to become someone important, immediately, without waiting, without moving through the natural steps that real connection requires. Their urgency isn't born from deep emotion. It's born from knowing how easily Libra opens when you feel chosen, valued, wanted. And once again, the universe places a gentle hand on your shoulder, a reminder that anything meant to last never blooms in haste. But perhaps what shakes your heart the most is when they start making you feel guilty for simply protecting your own peace, for needing time, for wanting to keep your own rhythm intact. Comments like, "I thought you cared more," or "looks like I'm the only one trying," become mirrors reflecting not truth, but the story they want you to believe. That you are not enough, that you are wrong, that you are the one causing harm. For a sign like Libra, who lives through empathy and works so hard to keep harmony, this is where your heart can tremble the most. Because nothing hurts you, quite like the idea of disappointing someone, even when all you're doing is honoring a boundary your soul needs. Individually, those signs might seem harmless. Who doesn't enjoy a compliment? Who doesn't appreciate connection? Who hasn't once felt unsettled when accused of not caring enough? But when these signs appear together, consistently, predictably, it stops being coincidence. It becomes a strategy, a way for someone to slip into your safe space and slowly make you forget where your yes begins and where your no should stand. Libra, you are the gentlest of the air signs, a beautiful soul who seeks to understand others long before you judge them. But it is that very softness that can pull you into the stories of those who come not to give, but to take. So if you feel something is off, a note that doesn't belong in an otherwise perfect harmony, trust that. It isn't your imagination. It's your intuition, trying to shield you from a hurt you do not need to carry. And as you stand among these signs, a quiet stillness begins to rise inside you. A pause, a breath, a space where you finally hear the truth your heart has been trying to whisper all along. There is a quiet pause, a precious stillness, where you can finally hear the voice inside you, the voice you've buried for so long beneath your kindness, beneath the part of you that always tries to take care of everyone else. And it is this stillness that brings you closer to the truth the universe has been wanting you to see. When you stand in that silence, you begin to notice something you couldn't notice before. Some answers only appear when you are brave enough to stop chasing someone else's emotions, to stop rushing to soothe what isn't yours, and to turn inward, listening for the smallest movements inside yourself, the ones you used to ignore because you feared they might hurt someone. Slowly, that silence becomes a safe place, a place where your intuition starts to speak again. At first, it's soft, like a breeze brushing through a line of trees, barely enough to make the leaves tremble. Then it grows stronger, clearer, becoming a knowing you can no longer deny. Libra. That is the moment your intuition upgrades. Not through mystical signs, but through a deeper ability to feel the truth more powerfully than ever before. You begin to understand that keeping the peace is not the same as staying true to yourself. There have been times, many times, when you held your breath, placed your needs at the very end, and swallowed your own feelings just to avoid a difficult conversation or a disappointed look from someone else. But this time, the universe doesn't want you to walk that path anymore. This time, it's inviting you to stand with the truth, even when that truth asks you to face something uncomfortable. And here's the beautiful part. That uneasiness you've been feeling lately is not fear. It is not weakness. It is the cosmos calling to you, a whisper telling you that something is out of rhythm in the story you're in. A subtle warning that there is a gap between someone's words and the energy they carry. A reminder that the strange feeling in your chest is your inner compass turning, pointing you toward what's real. Your unease is not an accident. It is not random. Those moments where you feel the urge to step back, even when everything on the surface looks beautiful, those moments are guidance. The universe is trying to pull you away from a spiral that does not belong to you. And this time, instead of resisting, you are listening. You are beginning to trust that intuition isn't some vague whisper, but an ancient intelligence of the soul, one that often knows the truth long before your mind does. From that moment on, you start noticing the pieces that truly matter, how someone reacts when you say no, how your energy shifts right after leaving a conversation with them, how your heart subtly tightens even while they're still smiling. Every detail, small, delicate, easy to overlook, is forming a picture the universe wants you to see. And slowly, you come to understand something gentle yet profound. The more you listen to your intuition, the more clearly you feel that your path cannot be chosen by the desire to please someone else, but by the quiet peace that rises in your own heart. In this moment, as your intuition glows like a small lamp in a dark room, you realize something important. The universe never lets you feel unsettled without a reason. Every soft vibration in your soul is a signal. Every pause is an opening for your inner light to grow stronger. And when you finally begin to trust that inner light, something new starts moving beneath the surface of your life, quietly, patiently, not with shock or noise, but with the steady force of water flowing under soft earth. Gentle yet powerful enough to reshape everything in its path for those who are willing to slow down and feel it. You start to notice that something in the air is shifting, like the way the sky changes tone before a heavy rain, or the moment the ocean grows still just before a new wave rises. And then, when you lift your eyes, you realize it isn't only people moving around you. The sky above you, your old cosmic companion, is also rearranging itself. The planets, those ancient friends of the soul, are taking new positions, creating intersections of energy as if the universe itself is urging you to wake up, stand taller, and be more honest with yourself than ever before. Mars and Pluto, two of the strongest forces in the night sky, are pulling invisible threads behind the scenes, revealing truths you once overlooked or weren't ready to see. Mars, with its fire and forward motion, pushes you to rise from the places where you've stayed too long. Pluto, the keeper of endings and rebirth, shines a light into the corners you've avoided, forcing hidden intentions to step out into the open. No more sweet words that distract your heart. No more polished masks that blur your intuition. Together, these planets create a field of energy so potent you can almost feel it pulsing inside you. Sometimes it shows up as a sudden instinct, sometimes as a quiet discomfort you can't explain, sometimes as a powerful urge to change things, to clear your space, to walk away from heaviness, even before you fully understand why. And for Libra, the sign that seeks harmony, this period brings a new kind of balance. One that doesn't come from keeping everyone close, but from choosing who truly deserves to walk forward with you. You can no longer ignore those small fractures inside your heart. You can no longer silence that uneasy feeling just to keep the peace. This chapter asks you to accept that sometimes balance is restored only when you let go. During this time, misaligned connections reveal themselves. People with unclear intentions will drain your energy. Relationships that survive only through your effort will start to crumble like old wood. Words that sound caring but carry no true warmth will lose their charm. In contrast, the sincere ones will remain steady. Healthy relationships will feel lighter, clearer. The spaces your soul belongs to will call to you with a gentle and unmistakable warmth. The universe never takes from you what is meant for your growth. It only removes what you have already outgrown, what no longer matches the higher frequency you're stepping into. And once you understand that, you stop holding on so tightly. You stop fearing loss. Letting go becomes natural, like a branch releasing its final golden leaf, making room for the new green life already on its way. Within all this movement, there is a gentle invitation being offered to you, an invitation to step into a space where your heart is better protected and your light can shine without being dimmed by the shadows around you. It is an invitation to look back at the way you have loved, the way you have opened, the way you have held on to things that may no longer belong to you. And as you stand at that doorway, you may feel a slight hesitation, the same feeling you get when you open your front door at dawn, not knowing what the sky will bring that day, only knowing that something is waiting ahead, something soft, yet undeniably real. Libra, this is the moment you begin to understand that your kindness has never been the problem. The only thing you're being asked to learn now is where that kindness deserves to live. For years, you have balanced the worlds of other people. You've softened yourself, held back, and worked to make someone else's life easier, even when it meant trading away the peace inside your own chest. But in the delicate breeze moving through your spirit now, one truth becomes clearer than ever. Not everyone deserves to enter the place where you keep your purest emotions. There are people who, no matter how gently you hold them, see you only as a temporary shelter. There are stories you've tried to make beautiful, even when the other person never intended to write a kind chapter with you. And there are moments when you've been so tired, you didn't realize you were running on empty, all because you kept trying to be a foundation for those who never truly stood on their own. The universe is teaching you a lesson every mature soul must learn. Self-respect is not distance. Boundaries are not selfishness. They are how you protect the most beautiful parts of yourself. Just as a garden needs a fence so its flowers can bloom in their own season, your heart needs soft, clear boundaries, so its inner light is not carried away by every cold wind that passes through. When you learn to say no, you are not rejecting love. You are rejecting what no longer carries the energy of love. When you choose silence, it is not avoidance. It is your way of protecting yourself from conversations that do not bring peace. And when you begin to ask who truly deserves your presence, that is not hardness. That is the maturity of a soul finally valuing itself. Picture your heart as a room lit by a warm candle. That candle does not need to burn endlessly for anyone who walks in. It does not have to illuminate people who are used to living in the dark. It only needs to shine steadily, faithfully, for those who genuinely appreciate its glow. And for that to happen, the door to that room must open at the right time, for the right people. Libra, you are not meant to be the refuge for souls who refuse to stand up on their own. You are not responsible for rescuing anyone just because they look at you with eyes that beg for rescue. Your first and most sacred responsibility is to keep your own flame alive. Because when it burns in the right way, the people who belong with you will find their way to you naturally. They will not demand. They will not take. They will walk toward you with their own light and stand beside you as equals. And when you feel this truth in the depth of your being, you become lighter, as if you've put down a weight you once believed you were meant to carry. You see, some lessons do not come to break you. They come to free you from other people's expectations, free you from roles you no longer wish to play, free you from the quiet exhaustion you never had the words to name. And in that release, a soft brightness begins to unfold. A place where you finally recognize your true worth. A place where you know love should never cost you your peace. A place where you understand that the right connections will never make you feel small, drained, or unsure of yourself. And from that gentle opening of light, a new movement begins to take shape. Clearer now, like the wings of a bird, stretching wide, after the last drop of rain has fallen. It carries you closer to the people, the experiences, and the spiritual gifts your soul has been waiting for a very long time. You don't recognize this shift with your mind. You feel it, a soft vibration in your chest, a sense that the air around you is brightening little by little. It is the sign that you have stepped out of the thin mist of confusion and into a space of truth, a place where things become cleaner, sharper, more honest. And in that clarity, illusions begin to fade. Those who came with words but no actions slowly reveal their true outlines. Connections that once felt intriguing now look like faded paintings, unable to hold a place in your heart any longer. And you realize it wasn't they who changed, it was your vision. The eyes of someone who finally understands they don't have to hold on just because they once hoped something would turn beautiful. The person who crossed your path, the one the universe sent as a test, was never meant to make you lose faith in people. They came to help you see yourself from a different angle, stronger, clearer, and no longer easily swayed by appearances alone. They were the exam your soul was ready to pass. And when you stood steady through it, a rare kind of freedom washed over you. The freedom of choosing who gets to walk beside you. The freedom of no longer binding your heart to compromise. The freedom that comes from knowing your worth never depends on anyone else's recognition. And as you rise from that lesson, something almost magical begins to unfold. You start attracting people who truly see you, souls who are not intimidated by your light, nor eager to use it. People who approach with calm eyes, with sincerity in their breath. They find you not because you are trying to please them, but because your energy has become so clear they recognize it instantly. These are connections that carry no pressure, no expectation, no demand for you to prove anything. They arrive naturally, the way morning. Light arrives, quiet but unmistakably warm. They make you feel understood, seen, appreciated. At the same time, the draining dramas, the heavy conversations, the relationships you've been dragging with all your patience in your heart, they start falling away like leaves that no longer belong to the season ahead. And you don't feel loss, you feel lightness. Because now you understand that to enter a more beautiful chapter, you must release what no longer nourishes your spirit. And when you finally do, a kind of peace settles in. The kind you once believed only lived in books. Libra. This is the moment of your rising. Not loud, not dramatic, but quiet. The quiet strength of a soul that has rediscovered its own worth. You stand there, unrushed, unforced, unapologetically yourself. And that alone is enough for the universe to open the path before you. And then, in that stillness, like a blessing placed gently on your shoulder, the universe whispers the words you have been needing to hear for so long. Trust yourself. Because when you trust your intuition, your worth, your own inner light, no one can deceive you again. No one can enter your life wearing a mask you won't see through. No one can make you doubt your own truth. You have walked through this test with clarity and an unbroken heart. And from here, every good thing begins finding its way toward you, as if it has been waiting at the end of the road for the moment you finally believed in yourself. Let the old fall away, let the new arrive, and let your light be the one that leads the way. Libra, you are becoming the most beautiful version of who you were always meant to be.